Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everybody, Gnarlo. Good boy. It has been a little while. We've had about a month and a half or so off here. A bunch of stuff going on, work and working on the house and pets and family and working on Minecraft. Had a project going on there we'll talk about later. But yeah, so we're back here. We are working actually on volume 4 now. I'm going to have to start
The
up a
people of
volume.
Gondor must be protected from the ruthless dead.
I'm going to have to start up a volume 4 playlist if I haven't already. It's been a while. I don't remember. But we were working on here, book 1, chapter 3, The Whisper of Death. If y'all remember, we went in and we had rescued some stupid kids who had wandered into the paths of the dead and gotten some of the Rohirrim adults killed in the process. We talked about Rohirrim parenting issues and all, but we won't go into that again. So let's talk to Eowyn here. She's wishing for us to go and move into Gondor. If this other group, these ruthless dead, have forever cast their lot in with Sauron, then Aragorn will have no safety from them. Neither will the folk of Gondor, and our friend's passage may have planted a dangerous seed in the minds of the ruthless dead. With no hope of redemption, what reason is there to remain within the mountain? If you have no desire to atone for your evils, what would prevent you from adding to the number of your sins? I ask you to travel the paths of the dead, Gnarlo, and by that way come into Gondor. The people there must be protected, and if they cannot be saved from the threat of the ruthless dead, they must flee to a place of safety, if any still exist in this world. Indeed, journey to the dark door, the entrance to the paths of the dead, and that's what we will do. Let's go ahead and mount up our steed of Michael Delving. Nope. Keep forgetting that we actually have to stop, don't we? And let's head to the paths of the dead here, if we can remember which way it is that gets us over there. Let's take a quick look at the map. Where are we at? We're down here. We need to go back behind us. We're in Dunharrow. I think it's directly behind us. Let's see. That was our... Let's get back on the main road here. Indeed. Now let's go this way. Is this the path that we're going to take? Are we looking for a road off to the left? Do we just keep following this? What is it? It's been a little while since I was in these parts. Arrow's pointing this way, so maybe we are taking the correct way. But yeah, I hope y'all been having a good one. I had a lot. My house was locked. I had to unlock it so that I could come back in and play. As I said, it had been over a month since I've actually been on here doing anything, actually. So that was interesting. And then I had to... Dimholt. Okay, we are in the right place. I was thinking we were going to have to travel upwards into the whole... go up the whole road with the Pukal men on the sides. But we had to do that to get here, didn't we? So we're already in the correct place. Rashat High Warriors. Alright, these are the... not sure. Are these like corrupted Pukal men or something? Cold dread grips your heart as you approach the dark door once again. Journey through the paths of the dead beneath the Dwemerberg. We can do that. I'm not sure if sneaking will help us against the dead. I don't remember the last episode. Don't remember just how vital this is. Not allowed while mounted. Oh, okay. So we're not indoors. We're not counts as an indoor spot then, does it? Alright, let's zoom back out. Let's see if we can get through the paths of the dead here. Yeah, it has been a little while. I imagine, let's see, we're in the middle of February now. It looks like, Springfest should be coming up soon. I know I'm looking at the chat over here. I know people have been freaking out with the whole Rings of Power trailer that was released. The cold air hangs heavily in the great open space. I don't really have an opinion of it one way or the other. I'm just waiting to see come safely through the paths of the dead into the Blackroot Vale. I'm waiting to see. I'm not going to get all worked up one way or the other. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just happy that they're making more Lord of the Rings stuff, if you want to know the truth. It's nice. And unlike some of the folks, I understand that movies, TV shows, and books are separate items. What works in one does not work in another. We've had that discussion, I'm sure, with the whole Tom Bombadil thing, you know? It's like Tom Bombadil would not have worked in the movie of The Lord of the Rings. Can you imagine the whole thing running from terror from the Nazgul and all that, and then being held captive with the Whites and the Barrows, and then along comes this comedy relief character who just sings and dances and wears funny clothing and has the Ring of Power has absolutely no power over him whatsoever. And you would have to go, people would go, well, who is he? And he says, well, he's Tom Bombadil. And says, yeah, but what is he? And it's like, we don't know! No clue whatsoever. No idea. It's like, okay. So, how come the Ring of Power doesn't have any power over him? Because he's the oldest, and he's the eldest, and he's the first, and therefore he can do all this kind of stuff. Well, why doesn't he take the ring? Well, we'd have to probably get another entire movie for us to explain it to you. All right, we've come out into the Blackroot Vale. There we go. There's the Dwemer door on this side. And it says, find a settlement. Find the hilltop settlement of Morlad in the Blackroot Vale. We can certainly do that. There is a Vale Watcher. Let's zoom on in and see what we got going on here, since this is our first time over here on this side of the Pass of the Dead. Wasn't nearly as bad as it could be. But of course, we snuck through it, so I don't know what, if anything, might have appeared along the way. Since this is pretty much looks like the path that we can take between Rohan and Gondor over here on this side now. Out from the darkness.
The soldiers of Gondor have all gone to war, and we are left to fend for ourselves.
How did you come to be here? I must be mistaken, but I am certain I saw you come from those haunted paths under the mountain. If that is true, and you are as mighty as you appear, the steward will want to speak with you. We are in need of hardy folk, especially now that Lord Duinhir has ridden east. Follow the river Blackroot to the south, and you will find a settlement called Morlad upon a hill on the west. There you will find Mathalam, our steward. Follow the river Blackroot south to Morlad. Well, since we're going to be finding the city of Morlad anyway, let's accept that. Out of the darkness, and that's a green one.
Our lands were once peaceful, but it is now dangerous to travel far from home.
You must be mighty indeed to have braved the paths under the mountain. Follow my road, and it will bring you to the hilltop on which sits Morlad, my home. Help my people in any way you can, and I will be most grateful to you. You can tell you're in Gondor. Look at the stars. Stars of Arendelle? Is that who it is? Anyway, there suddenly are in a whole bunch of stars, and I bet we see ship iconography and all that kind of stuff too. Alright, let's see where we are here. We have entered the Blackroot Vale, which is right here in western Gondor, down here in Lamadon, in the havens of Belfalas and Dol Amra. I remember this whole section here from way back in when I used to play the old SPI version of War of the Ring back in the day. The old version with all the hundreds of counters and stuff like that, and all these sections down here. I learned the names of all. That's how I learned the names of all the sections of Eriador and Gondor that really didn't seem to have too much of a purpose. Like, if you were fighting the battle, you just really didn't ever, it was historically accurate, and that was good, that they included all that part, but it's just like, kind of like the parts up there in the Withered Heath and Forchell. It's like, if your members, if the people that you were moving, the fellowship and the individual leaders in your armies, if your armies were up in Forchell or down in let's say Tharbad, you probably weren't doing something right. Okay, so we found the latest rally circle. We know where that is now. Let's see where we are on the map here. Alright, so our rally circle's right over there. Do we have all map notes turned on? We do. So we'll see. There is a mailbox and a milestone, and another mailbox and a milestone over there, and there's the reflecting pool, and I see a milestone here in Morlad, so I know where we will be binding ourselves here in just a moment. Let's bind up on this side of the White Mountains here. What kind of stuff? Erlinga Skarn deposit. Alright, so we're gonna have to, as I've said before, it's kind of like over there in American Truck Sim and all. Whenever G-Bub is playing, I'm gonna have to work on that crafting stuff soon. Indeed, we are. A Vale Heart, normal beast. Alright, good to be back in lands where we actually see, that must be Morlad, where we actually see green animals again. You have found Morlad, as Lude here described, and should now seek Mathalam. So we got talk to Mathalam, find the hilltop settlement. Should be popping that up here in a second. New deed. Prosperity of West Gondor. Morlad. Discovered Morlad. Alright, so we've got a travelogue entry. A man waves his greeting and calls for your attention. Alright. Fantastic. Well, let's see if we can't do a travelogue entry here. There should be. Let's see if there's anything actually to it. Prosperity. Discover Gondorian settlements in West Gondor. You have discovered the village of Morlad. The people of Morlad have grown weary of the dead lurking around the hill of Eric. That's enough. That is enough for us to do a quick travelogue here. Sure. Let's go ahead and take it and get it done, shall we? You have discovered the village of Morlad. The people of Morlad have grown wary of the dead lurking around the hill of Eric. And I'm sure that they've grown weary of the dead lurking around it too. I don't want to do the roving bands. Let's grab the stable master right quick.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Where do they go? They go to Minas Tirith's West Gate under Harrow, so we can swift travel back over there. Dol Amroth. We've been to Dol Amroth, so that's why that one's opened up. Let's bind ourselves here. Return to Dunharrow. Don't think so. Not this time. Okay, fantastic. This guy must be the guy that was waving at us. Let's go and say hello to him. Hello, Kelegdal. What have you got to say to us? What can you tell me about the Vale? I can tell you that it has always been a good place to live, but of late there has been more troubling things happening. Folk have seen strange lights in the distance, and it is said that the dead stalk from the mountains and bear great enmity for the living. Is that so? What can you tell me about Gondor? You are a stranger indeed if you know little of Gondor. The kingdom is very old, older than I could say, and has not been ruled by a king for many hundreds of years. Steward Denethor rules in Minas Tirith, but to my knowledge he has never come to Morlad. A king would be no different, I expect. No king would worry himself with our trouble here in the Blackroom Vale. You say so. Chapter 3, The Whisper of Death.
If you are a friend of Gondor, welcome to Morlad.
If you are not, listen to my words and hasten your feet elsewhere. We have troubles enough in the Vale without your adding to them. Strange things have been happening here of late, and it has stirred in the creatures of the Vale a form of madness. I could not say what has caused it, but I know the creatures are oft driven into a frenzy when approached. I have seen beasts cast themselves at the very walls of Morlad for no reason at all, doing themselves great injury in the process. Do you want to know what I think? I think it is the whisper of death that has done this, but let us not speak of that now. It is but a matter of time before one of the beasts is driven into the heart of the city. It would ease my mind some if you would defeat a number of the frenzied creatures in the Vale, or the bears and the birds that might be next. We might speak again once that is done. Defeat 10 frenzied or maddened beasts throughout the Blackroot Vale. Sure, we'll do that. Oh, out from the darkness. In the meantime, let's find Mathalam. Is that him right up there, maybe? Yep, there's Mathalam, Steward of the Vale, and there's his home. Very stern-looking fellow. And in
How
peace.
may I help you, friend?
These are dangerous times, Gnarlo, as I'm certain you know well. Long has it been since Gondor faced such a conflict, and should we fail now, I doubt there should be any battle left to fight. Ever since Lord Duin here, his sons, and our warriors rode east to Minas Tirith, we have stood nearly defenseless. For our own part, we have held the line, but it has not been without cost. My guards know well what troubles face the Vale, and I would ask that you speak to them. One as skilled as yourself would be a powerful ally should you wish to aid us. Talk to Ecthel, sure. In the meantime, let's do Out from the Darkness.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I thought not but death itself would ever wander forth from those wretched paths. I now see my folly. Tell me, stranger, what has brought you to Gondor? So we got Amroth silver pieces. That must be the new faction. The new faction currency. Completed Out of the Darkness. New deed. Quest of the Blackroot Vale. Complete Quest of the Blackroot Vale. We need to complete 35 of them for LOTRO pieces, hero, virtue experience, and increased reputation. Alright, what have you got?
How may I help you, friend?
A steward without counsel. Gnarlo, I have served Lord Duin here as his chief counselor and one of his most trusted friends for many years. It is for this reason I was chosen to be steward during his absence. Yet, where leadership came to him naturally, I have not found any comfort in this role. I am without counsel of my own, for none of the guards can be spared, and too few of the townfolk have any tactical knowledge. I would ask Lady Rosfin for aid, but she is disinclined to speak to me as of late. If you would, try to persuade her to aid me, for the good of the Blackroot Vale. Sure, we'll see what kind of a Folk of Morlad grow enough to get by, but there's a little extra. What kind of a weird triangle is going on here? Alright, folks, thank you so very much. It is nice to be in Gondor finally. Fantastic. we will continue on, get some of this stuff done. I'm going back to work again here in the next few days, so can't say it'll be done immediately, but we will get on it and get things rolling. And I will see y'all next time. Thank you for coming along. Hope you've enjoyed it after such a long absence. And we'll try to get one up without things going quite so long next time, if life and everything else will cooperate. We'll see you then. Thank you, and bye-bye.